Hello, hi everyone. I'm here to talk about self-paced learning vs fast-paced implementation. So that was a topic I was thinking about today, um, and I would like to make some consideration with you. But before I start, you can see that behind me I have some letters. Um, so that was my child. I didn't want to erase them just because I need to have a clean background. So you may ask yourself, is this a coded version? Do we need to read what's there? No, that's my kid, and I need to guess the letters which are missing. And this is something which is interesting because it's related to learning. I think that at school she just make some exercises with the educators and around understanding, guessing the word from some letters you have and some letters you don't have. And then she wanted me to do the same thing there. So she went from the student seat to the teacher seat, and she wanted to be the teacher and teach me and have this kind of playing with the words and letters with me. And that comes with a learning topic because I love self-paced learning. So self-paced learning means you are the one deciding what speed you will have. So you have usually books, workbooks, video lessons, audio lessons, asynchronous lessons, and you can decide to watch them at your own pace, to go through them at your own pace, to do the work at your own pace. And this is really practical when it comes to people who are busy because sometimes you want to learn something, but you can't learn this something during your work day. So, but you can in the evening, you can on the weekend, or even if you pull into your calendar a slot to learn this topic, um, everyone has a different speed. And so self-paced learning, I think, is something which is really interesting and something that all the learning technology gives us the ability. But there is something which is, at least that for me was a problem, is if I think about many courses I've been through, which I've bought in the timeline, the last time lapse of years, I would want to complete the course, but doing the work was actually more difficult for me because there was no one else on the other side. I would not feel I needed to go to do this thing this week or the next week, etc. So I would kind of maybe avoid the work. And so that comes with implementation. I think the self-paced learning is something which is good, even if I also really like the live learning because there is this interaction which can keep you engaged. But the problem is with the implementation. When you are all alone with the implementation of what you have been learning, it becomes more difficult to be accountable with yourself or just to want to do the work. And so that's why I think but there is a combination which can be really interesting we talk a lot about self-paced learning, but we may talk also about fast-paced implementation. And fast-paced implementation is the moment if you are in a group coaching, in a group program, or in a live course, etc. You have to do the job at a certain speed, at a certain speed, and sometimes it can also be overwhelming. I guess I'm sure it can be, but this sensation of speed can help you overcome this resistance we have when it comes to, okay, I've learned these things, but now I need to implement them, and I need to think about the solution, I need to show up, I need to apply them, to test them, and you can you just want to quit and just say, oh, I've gone through the content, so I've seen the content of the training, so it's as if I've learned. And you can maybe have learned it, but you have not implemented it. And the implementation is kind of hard. And so what was and there are different ways of having a based implementation. One is if you are in the container of a group program, you have 12 weeks and you need to work through 12 weeks. There is another way, which is when you are in a one-on-one with a coach, you have this implementation, which is, okay, I need to show up again in front of my coach. I know I should do this, go through this content, or journal about this topic or whatever, and I will show up and will see my coach. And one, I want but my coach feels that I'm doing the work, or I know that if I haven't done the work for given many reasons, I can talk with the coach about that, and we can unpack what's happening and why I'm not doing the work. Or also in a membership context, you can have this paced implementation, and it can be fast or slow. It could be a consistent paced implementation rather than a fast-paced implementation, but it can be like in memberships, because you have self-paced learning, and then you have a paced, and the pace can change, an implementation where you know that you are committing to show up, etc., and show up and do the work and do the implementation, and you are followed through the implementation. You can have the coach or the coaches if there's more than one, and you have also the group, which is a way to keep you accountable to go through implementation. So I'm really curious to have also your thoughts about that. So if you are watching this live, or if you're watching it later, say hi in the comments and let me know if you think that there is a difference between the learning phase and the implementation phase, and what works best for you. Is it a self-paced learning with a fast-paced implementation? It is a self-paced learning and implementation. It is a fast-paced learning and implementation. What are the combinations which you have experienced and how they work with you? So that was to have this quick chat with you. And you will also find some information in the near this video about my membership, which is a mix of self-paced learning. There is some live learning and a consistent paced implementation. I will say, because we are not going through a fast-paced implementation. That happens when we are doing challenges, and then we have a fast pace. But otherwise, we have the consistent pace, which can be used in different ways by the members. So let me know in the comments. I wanted to share that with you, and I hope you have a great day.